Let's get more now on the hunt for Charlie Kirk's assassin. And the FBI have revealed this afternoon that the rifle used to shoot the American political activist and key ally of Donald Trump has been recovered, with astonishing further reports suggesting that the ammunition was engraved with transgender and anti-fascist ideology. Well, let's now speak with the US political strategist and the spokesman for Republicans Overseas UK, Erol Morkoc. Erol, welcome to the show. Donald Trump said this appeared to be the radical left, and he talked about how wonderful Americans like Charlie Kirk being compared to Nazis has made them into targets. And this latest revelation that the ammunition appears to have been engraved with trans ideology and anti-fascist messages seems to confirm that.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's what we're seeing, and it's not surprising. That's what we've been expecting. There's been a spate of violence that's captured, I guess, the entire world, and it's also captured, domestic policies in other countries, but in the United States. And the trans violence and the violence from the left against the right is undeniable. And you see it here today, where a young man, a father of two beautiful children, was murdered for having the will and the courtesy to come and have debate. And right now, there's no surprise. I mean, that shot isn't an incredibly hard shot to make from maybe 200 yards. I mean, you have to be good with a rifle, but not great. But to escape, that's the part that's incredible. So this man, we can say he's deranged. We can say he left all these Easter eggs behind. But what's to say that, I mean, he was obviously capable enough to not only make that shot with one shot, but leave the area undetected and now evade the FBI completely. So we have to be careful to wonder if he's leaving behind Easter eggs to throw us off and make us think that he's some sort of deranged person. This is highly calculated and obviously effective assassination with a high-powered rifle. When I heard that shot go off, I knew Charlie was dead. I work in the defense industry, that you don't survive that kind of a bullet if it hits you. And if it missed or if it hit the microphone, that was the only thing I could hope. And then when you saw the shot, you knew it was over. And so I'd be very wary to say what the ideology was, because usually people from that sort of subset of shooters, they're not very effective in terms of anything besides devastation, and then they kill themselves. This man came clean cut, no collateral damage, and left. It doesn't fit the MO, and that's why I'm suspicious.
And Erol, it does fit the MO, however, of the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. A lone shooter seems to totally evade any detection, clambers across a flat roof, gains a vantage point with a clear line of sight to the target, makes the shot, and in this instance, escapes. Do you think there are huge questions to be asked about the security around the university campus itself, or is it simply too difficult to do that? I mean, we can't police every event with every person from the conservative right. It's impossible.
Exactly. President Trump, the travesty that somebody's able to even get on a roof, a gardener on the roof for or whatever reason, somebody on the roof cleaning windows. I mean, that's already a huge security failure, just if somebody was to get on a roof. So that's a whole different thing. That's a presidential candidate. That's somebody with Secret Service protection. Charlie Kirk is there to debate young people on a college campus. He has a security detail, and a security detail that's more than adequate to deal with some deranged person coming full frontal towards him, or they create a security barrier and this and that, so there's no blind spots. But to defend from a sniper's bullet without the glass barriers you see that world leaders have is virtually impossible. I mean, it just can't be done. And to conduct security sweeps of every single college campus every time Charlie Kirk or anybody at this point now, I mean, what's to say that, why would he stop at Charlie Kirk? Why do you think that it's over? It doesn't make any sense that he would stop there. There's so many other people, and he's able to get away with one. He can continue on. So that's the situation we're on. I mean, this is a live action manhunt, and potentially there's more murders to come.
Erol, can I ask you about some of the simply astonishing reaction in the States and indeed in Brussels? In Brussels, left-wing MEPs refusing to join in a minute's silence for Charlie Kirk, Democrats booing a minute's silence in your chamber, the American mainstream media seemingly engaging in a huge spout of whataboutery, unable to look themselves in the mirror about why this is happening, and people on university campuses, the precise campuses that Charlie Kirk went to try and engage with them, liberal students, young people seemingly glad Charlie Kirk is dead. What on earth is going wrong with the rot at the heart of America?
These people have lost their humanity. These people have lost the very decency that that we used to say made America great, and that's what was it's crossed a line. People are celebrating the death of a funny guy who went to college campuses, and that's Charlie Kirk's greatest crime was saying debate me, and they relish his death. And here's the thing, it's so short-sighted. I mean, Charlie Kirk, he's the first to tell you he wore his faith on his sleeve, and he feels that his and knows that his soul is saved by Jesus Christ, and he would always talk about that. So you can't kill somebody like Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, he's not that kind of a person. For everybody who feels bad today, there's also going to be people coming out, and the movement will get stronger. So by doing that, they've created a martyr out of somebody who only intended to be a guide to us. And I think that's the worst thing, that the hate and vitriol are directed also at a father of two young kids. When I worked with Charlie when we launched Turning Point UK, he we were just boys at the time. I mean, he's younger than me. He's only 31. I mean, to see that life cut short and to not let somebody grow and develop as a person, or to try to kill them for one-off statement, I mean, that's crazy. And you don't see it from our side. You don't see us go and shooting their people. We wouldn't do that. And Charlie always talked about that. He always talked, if we don't have these debates, because people will come down and say, "What are you doing here?" And he said, because if we don't have these debates, there could be violence. And they'd say, "Violence against who? You?" And there's videos of this. He goes, "Yes, violence against people who are free speech people." And then it ended up happening. And these people, they've lost the sense of decency, that what makes men men. And then I think there's something that has to be fixed. What can it be? Does it mean just we remove ourselves further and we further entrench ourselves in sort of ideological segregation? I mean, that's what people's natural inclination is, and that's exactly the opposite of what Charlie Kirk's commitment to discourse. He's a lion of free speech, but I want to emphasize a lion of civil rights. He was a civil rights icon, and that's how he'll be remembered. And nothing these people can do, or the snide remarks can take away who Charlie Kirk was or is to so many people still today.
Erol Morkoc, thank you very, very much for joining us and giving us that emotional outpouring. That's wonderful. So thank you very much. That's US political strategist and spokesman for Republicans overseas, UK, Erol Morkoc. Thank you.